Most people see Union Pacific as a railroad. Long trains crossing the American landscape, carrying freight from one destination to another. But that view misses the bigger picture. Because behind every locomotive is a network connecting the industries that make America work. And the deeper you follow the tracks, the less this looks like a train company. The contradiction is simple. A railroad does not create the goods it carries. Yet without the railroad, entire supply chains can slow, reroute, or become dramatically more expensive. Coal, grain, chemicals, automobiles, construction materials, and containers all enter the same network. The train is not the destination. It is the connection between economies that otherwise sit thousands of miles apart. The hidden system begins with the network itself. Thousands of miles of track create the physical backbone. But track alone is useless without terminals, yards, signals, locomotives, crews, and carefully timed movements. Every shipment enters a chain of decisions designed to keep freight flowing. The real product is not the train. It is coordinated movement. This is how the mechanism works. Freight begins at mines, farms, factories, warehouses, and ports. It enters the railroad through local connections or intermodal terminals. Yards sort and combine shipments. Mainline corridors move them across long distances. And at the other end, trucks and local rail connections complete the journey. One shipment can pass through an entire ecosystem without the customer ever seeing the machinery behind it. Now the perspective changes. This is not one railway crossing one region. It is a continent-scale network spanning thousands of miles and linking major economic centers across the American West and beyond. The network touches ports, industrial cities, agricultural regions, energy-producing areas, and distribution hubs. At this scale, every route becomes part of a larger economic map. Agriculture depends on rail to move massive volumes over long distances. Manufacturing depends on predictable deliveries of raw materials and components. Construction depends on bulk commodities. Energy markets depend on transportation infrastructure. And retailers depend on the wider logistics system that connects ports to inland markets. The railroad sits between them all. The average consumer rarely sees the infrastructure that makes this possible. They see a product on a shelf. They do not see the rail siding behind the factory, the classification yard outside the city, the intermodal terminal near the highway, or the thousands of miles of track connecting them. This invisible network is where Union Pacific becomes more than transportation. The economic engine is built around moving enormous volumes efficiently. Bulk commodities generate one stream. Intermodal freight creates another. Industrial customers create recurring demand. The more industries connected to the network, the more valuable the network becomes. This creates a powerful economic loop. Infrastructure attracts freight, freight supports investment, and investment strengthens the network. The real advantage of a railroad is position. A track running through the right geography can connect entire regions to ports, factories, farms, and distribution centers. That position cannot simply be copied with a new train. It requires land, rights of way, bridges, tunnels, terminals, yards, regulatory approvals, and decades of infrastructure. The moat is physical. A railroad may operate on land, but its economic reach extends far beyond it. Containers arriving through Pacific ports can move inland by rail. American agricultural exports can travel toward global markets. Industrial materials can cross the country before entering international supply chains. Union Pacific is therefore part of a much larger system, one connecting American production to the global economy. Because a railroad network is almost impossible to recreate quickly. The barrier is not a patent. It is accumulated infrastructure. Miles of track, bridges, tunnels, terminals, land rights, industrial connections, operational knowledge, and the traffic patterns built around all of it. A competitor can buy locomotives. Rebuilding the system is another matter entirely. The same infrastructure that creates strength also creates vulnerability. A major bridge closure, extreme weather event, mechanical failure, labor disruption, or network bottleneck can affect movements far beyond a single location. When supply chains are tightly connected, delays can travel through the system. The railroad's greatest strength is also its greatest responsibility: keep the network moving. This is where the perception changes again. A railroad is no longer just a company carrying freight. It becomes part of the infrastructure that determines how efficiently an economy can operate. The ability to move food, materials, energy products, manufactured goods, and containers at scale gives the network strategic importance. The tracks become part of America's economic capacity. The next transformation is about making the network smarter. Precision scheduling, automation, digital monitoring, predictive maintenance, fuel efficiency, and technologies designed to move more freight with greater reliability. The future railroad is becoming less about simply adding physical capacity and more about extracting greater performance from the network that already exists. Step back far enough and the railroad disappears into the larger system. Ports bring goods into the country. Rail moves them inland. Highways distribute them. Factories transform materials. Warehouses store products. Perhaps Union Pacific was never really a railroad company in the way most people imagine. The locomotives are visible. The tracks are visible. But the deeper business is the coordination of physical economic flows. It connects production to consumption, ports to inland markets, raw materials to factories, and entire industries to one another. The train is simply the most visible part of the system. Retailers bring them to consumers. Union Pacific operates inside this chain, but its position is unusual. It connects systems that were never designed to operate alone. Union Pacific is not simply a railroad. It is a physical operating system for the American economy. Its tracks connect farms to markets, factories to materials, ports to inland cities, and global trade to domestic supply chains. Its power comes from something far harder to build than a fleet of trains, a network embedded into the geography of an entire economy. And that is why the most important thing Union Pacific moves is not freight. It is economic activity itself.